February 9, 2010, a day etched in dread. A seemingly ordinary day, but for 17-year-old Mackenzie Nicole Cowell, this would become a nightmarish abyss. She vanished into thin air, a mere 15-minute break from the beauty school she attended, her life unraveling in the most horrifying way. Mackenzie, a senior at Wenatchee High School, was not just a typical student. She was a vibrant member of the school dance team, a blossoming cosmetologist, and a mesmerizing model at the Wenatchee Academy of Hair Design. Little did her classmates know that when she uttered those words promising to return after a brief hiatus, it would mark the tragic finale of her existence. The haunting truth lies in the cold gaze of a surveillance camera. It captured her every move as she walked towards her car, a silent witness to her departure into the abyss. In those fateful moments, Mackenzie sent her boyfriend a text, a simple, "Hey, what's up?" a message that would echo into eternity as the last trace of her existence. The unsettling question remains: what happened during that sinister interlude between her departure and the chilling discovery of her lifeless form days later? This is the heartbreaking case of Mackenzie Nicole Cowell. Born on April 1 of 1992 to Reed Cowell and Wendy Cowell, Mackenzie was from Orondo in Washington, and as mentioned earlier, she attended the beauty school where she was last seen. It all started when her father's calls made around 5:40 p.m. slipped into the abyss of voicemail. Panic set in when she missed her 8 p.m. curfew. A homeowner in remote Chelan County reported an abandoned car near his driveway in Pitcher Canyon. The police called the registered owner of the car, Reed Cowell, who informed them that not only was his car missing but also the driver, who happened to be his daughter. The eerie location was 40 miles away from her home in Orondo. Her belongings were inside the car, but her debit card and phone had vanished. Strangely, just one set of footprints adorned the scene, a chilling enigma for the investigators. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office sprang into action, deploying helicopters to scour the area around the forsaken car. As the mystery deepened, the FBI was summoned to join the hunt, a desperate plea from the sheriff. Search warrants unmasked her phone records and online footprint, as the darkness of Mackenzie's disappearance cast a long, haunting shadow. In the wake of Mackenzie Cowell's gruesome discovery, a relentless hunt ensued, led by the Mackenzie Cowell Task Force. This multi-agency alliance emerged as a force to be reckoned with, committed to unveiling the chilling truth. 4 agonizing days after her disappearance, on February 13, 2010, Mackenzie's lifeless body was found on the tranquil banks of the Columbia River near Quincy, Washington. A resort community merely 20 miles from her last known whereabouts in Wenatchee became the haunting stage. There she lay, fully clothed in her school uniform, her feet submerged in the river's icy grasp, hauntingly close to a vacant house for sale, a mere 50 yards away. The autopsy revealed a gruesome tale of her demise: strangulation, vicious stab wounds to the neck, and brutal blunt force trauma to the head. But the horrors did not end there. The killer's macabre attempt to sever one of her arms remained etched in the horror, a knife still embedded in her shoulder, a chilling testament to the savagery. Amidst the brutality, no evidence pointed to sexual assault, deepening the mystery further. The task force, a formidable team comprising city agents along with Chelan and Douglas County investigators, joined forces with an FBI agent and 2 U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials. Over 800 interviews were conducted, making this investigation the largest multi-agency pursuit in Wenatchee since the harrowing days of a 1997 serial bombing attempt. The darkness that shrouded Mackenzie's fate beckoned answers as the relentless hunt for her killer continued. At first, The investigation honed in on two suspects: Nicole's boyfriend, Joaquin Villasano, and her mother's boyfriend, Joey Fisher. Suspicion hung in the air as Villasano faltered during a polygraph test, casting shadows on his knowledge of Nicole's fate. Meanwhile, Fisher's heated argument with Nicole on the day before her disappearance raised unsettling questions. However, the web of suspicion eventually unraveled and both were exonerated by law enforcement. But the plot thickened when a new lead emerged courtesy of Liz Reed, a college student turned informant with a shadowy past as a drug dealer. Her tale was chilling. She implicated two alleged drug dealers, Sam Cuevas and Emmanuel Serros, in Mackenzie Cowell's murder. They had supposedly mistook her for an informant, sealing her tragic fate. Reed claimed to have witnessed the murder with her own eyes and later on said that she had only seen it captured on a sinister videotape created by the killers. She alleged that Sam Cuevas had confessed to her, saying, "I choked that to shut her up." Remarkably, Reed's account held a terrifying twist. It predated the public release of crucial details, including the murder weapon's description. To add an eerie layer to the narrative, she presented the police with a ring she claimed belonged to Cowell. As the chilling puzzle unfolded, darkness shrouded the truth, leaving investigators to tread the treacherous path of uncertainty. The twisted narrative took an even darker turn when Liz Reed claimed Emmanuel Serros was the one who sent her on the quest to find Mackenzie's ring at the murder site, but a chilling disconnect emerged. None of Cowell's family members recognized the ring as Mackenzie's despite it appearing in some of her photographs. As suspicion mounted, Reed's credibility wavered, especially after retracting her initial claim of witnessing a murder video. Police began to scrutinize her reliability. Their investigative net then turned to Sam Cuevas and Emmanuel Serros, both interviewed by authorities. Alibis, witness statements, and phone records placed them far from Nicole's vanishing point on that fateful day. Clues persisted, leading detectives to a new person of interest, Christopher Scott Wilson, a 29-year-old classmate at the Hair Design Academy. August brought an unsettling revelation. A letter arrived at the police station suggesting that Wilson harbored a morbid obsession with death, corpses, and infamous serial killers. His arm bore the eerie mark of Hannibal Lecter, the fictional serial killer from the Oscar-winning Silence of the Lambs. More disturbingly, claims surfaced of his fixation on Dexter Morgan, the fictional vigilante serial killer from the TV series Dexter. A startling revelation emerged from one of Wilson's classmates, an unsettling confession. Wilson had disclosed a sinister past working in funeral homes, coupled with a disturbing fascination for dissection and cutting people up. The moment of reckoning arrived on October 6 when Christopher Scott Wilson was apprehended, suspected of second-degree murder. His bail, a staggering $1 million, which is nearly $1.4 million in 2023, painted a grim picture of the gravity of the crime. The sinister jigsaw pieces began to align as DNA found on a duct tape near the site of Mackenzie Cowell's grim discovery pointed an accusing finger at Wilson. 3 vigilant witnesses had reported sightings of a man matching his description near the abandoned car's location. A deeper delve into Wilson's world uncovered a disturbing connection: blood in his apartment, a sinister match to Cowell's DNA. Investigators painted a chilling timeline. Wilson's swift exit from the beauty school captured in security footage, merely 72 seconds after Mackenzie. His whereabouts thereafter plunged into shadowy obscurity. Phone records added a layer of intrigue. Wilson's consistent contact with his ex-girlfriend on that fateful afternoon, while she in turn communicated with her current partner at the time. A frantic call from her that night bearing news of something really bad that had happened heightened the eerie atmosphere. After that fateful day, Wilson vanished from school, leaving no trace. He also moved from his apartment. He was said to be very emotional over Mackenzie's death and had even made a haunting appearance at her memorial, a specter lingering in the midst of an unsolved mystery. December brought another startling twist as the task force made another arrest. Wilson's ex-girlfriend, Tessa Schulman, who was accused of aiding Wilson in concealing a crime. She, however, faced a different charge, obstruction of justice, which was unrelated to the Mackenzie Cowell case. A trove of photos emerged from Wilson's computer portraying Schulman posing as a lifeless figure in the very spot where Cowell's blood was discovered. She maintained innocence, claiming she had no knowledge of the bloodstain, contending that Wilson had merely instructed her to pose there. However, the plot thickened with the discovery of incriminating videos. Wilson and Schulman discussing a blood-stained piece of carpet, their voices fraught with cryptic dialogue. "Does it look clean in here?" Wilson questioned, to which Schulman replied, "Clean for what reason?" "Clean considering what's happening?" "Yes, I think it's clean considering." Wilson's defense? The videos were shot as he moved out aiming to secure his security deposit and that the bloodstain was merely bong water. In April 2011, a pivotal moment arrived as Wilson's murder charge was elevated from second degree to first degree. The prosecutor argued that his actions bore the sinister hallmarks of premeditation and prior intent, potentially locking him into a 20 to 26-year prison sentence if convicted. Before the trial's commencement, a tempting plea deal loomed on the horizon. Wilson could have accepted 6.5 years behind bars by admitting to first-degree manslaughter. However, he defiantly rejected this offer, setting the stage for a riveting legal battle. Stepping into the arena was none other than the devil's defender himself, John Henry Brown, a renowned Seattle attorney who had previously represented infamous figures like the serial killer Ted Bundy. Brown's strategy? To cast doubt on the case by suggesting that Cowell's blood had been planted in Wilson's apartment. He argued that the crime scene should have yielded more traces of blood given the brutality of Mackenzie's death. As the trial loomed, the presiding judge handed down crucial rulings. The defense could implicate Cuevas and Serros as potential killers, but Wilson's work history in funeral homes, his eerie Hannibal Lecter tattoo, and his online activities on DeviantArt and serial killer forums were deemed off-limits to the prosecution. The stage was set for a high-stakes legal showdown where the truth hung in the balance. Prosecutors unraveled a chilling plot. Chris and Mackenzie had orchestrated a clandestine meeting, deliberately masking their exit from the Hair Academy. The motives behind her tragic demise remained a shadowy enigma. Was it fueled by spurned advances, a drug deal gone awry, or a twisted thrill killing? After the jury selection for the trial had begun, Wilson struck a new plea deal. He confessed to first-degree manslaughter in Mackenzie Cowell's case alongside first-degree robbery for seizing her phone and second-degree assault in an unrelated incident. The gavel fell, sealing Christopher Wilson's fate with a 14-year and 3-month prison sentence. Later on, the saga took another unexpected turn. Wilson adamantly proclaimed his innocence, asserting he'd only pleaded guilty due to doubts about a fair trial. A desperate attempt to retract his guilty plea met a cold rejection from the Washington Court of Appeals. He remains imprisoned but is eligible for parole in 2023. The haunting question persists. Did an innocent man fall victim to a wrongful conviction, or was justice truly served in the tragic case of Mackenzie Cowell? Mackenzie Nicole Cowell's memorial service was held at the town Toyota Center in Wenatchee, in which around 1,800 people attended. She leaves behind a legacy of laughter, a beacon of light even on the darkest days. Mackenzie harbored a kaleidoscope of dreams and aspirations, one of which had just begun to take shape, a budding career as a model. Mackenzie was not only a talented dancer but also an embodiment of resilience and beauty, her winning smile etched in memory. Her outgoing, bubbly nature made her a joy to be around, and her unending happiness radiated to all who crossed her path. She was a force of positivity, always ready for whatever life brought her way.